So we used our tool, we broke the tube nut, I guess, off, retaining nut here for the tube, buffer tube. Unscrew is pretty easy. There was a flathead screw here. You have to back that flathead screw out in order to twist this off. See, twist off pretty easy. Now, when you're removing this, if you'll take your screwdriver and pry in between here and the lower and pry this off, this piece will slip through the screw on the back here. Remember the little screw I damaged right back here? The Phillips, the flathead screw I damaged back here? You do not have to take that screw out. I should not have taken it out. I should have gotten in here with a screwdriver and pried this off. This hole is large enough and has a couple little indentions in it where it'll pop off. It'll come off that screw that's mounted in here. So don't try to remove the screw. Just take the tube nut off here and then pop this away from the receiver, and then this thing will spin and come right out for you, okay? So do not make the same mistake I made and try to take that screw out. That was really, really bad news for me, guys. But I just wanted to share that with you. But I guess that's part of, there's no videos on how to take this down. I'm just figuring it out as I go. So I'm the unlucky first one that did that. So please don't do that at home. Let's get this off and then I'll show you what's going wrong here. The flathead screw. It was so soft when I went to turn it, it tore. I was using a very wide Phillips head that actually fit the screw, and it broke. Once it broke, I couldn't really do anything else with it. I couldn't get it loose, so I had to drill it out, thinking, oh, no problem, I'll be able to get another screw. But look at this end. So now I'm going to have to contact them and try to order this piece here. So let's see if we can put it together and get it to run. Maybe we can makeshift put this back in place. So let's use this piece that came with the tube. Let's put it on here first. This thing is supposed to work with any AR buffer tube, but it is not working with this one. It is not matching up. It is not the same dimensions. It will not go on there. So your standard buffer tubes are not going to fit, even though they tell you it will. So let's see if we can find an end that'll go on here. The way I solved the problem of this piece not fitting is I went and got the piece that came with the buffer tube. Now, what I've done is the screw that was in the back, I screwed it back in and I filed the end off. I left enough where I could get it with vice grips and spin it out. This piece has an indention in it. So I matched it up, slide it forward, and then we'll just screw it on. We'll just screw this piece on and attach this to it. There we go. Line that up. Now let's just tighten down. Let's just tighten this down. Make sure our buffer tube is straight. Now, our piece is back on, our buffer tube's in place, our screw is in place behind this, and we have a place to attach a sling on either side if we want to do that. And then here, we'll just slide this guy on. When you first put your buffer tube on, you have to put your hand in here and really pull up to get it to slide on. Once you get it on, you just squeeze it. Kind of hard to do in this direction, but that way it won't come back off. And you set it where you need it. So now we have a buttstock on it. Now we have a cheek rest on it, and we got some sling mounts on it. Let's go clean the inside real good where the bolt's moving. Get that nice and clean. Let's polish this bolt up real good. The feed ramp is on the end of the barrel. So we're going to polish all this, clean this up, try to polish the we're going to polish the chamber also while we do this. One of the things I did to try to remedy my issue was I polished this bolt. I spent a lot of time polishing this thing, trying to get it nice and smooth. It had a good smooth finish to it, but I just went ahead and went over it again. And we're going to put some oil on this thing and put it back together. I am not going to mess with this extractor in here. I'm going to leave that alone for now. If it continues to not extract, I'll pull it back apart and try to cut a sharper angle on that. But for now, I'm not going to do that. Let's take a look at what I did to the barrel. So if you guys can see that, I polished the feed ramp really good on the front there. And I put this in the vise. I have some rubber pieces with leather on it to protect the barrel. I put it in the vise, and I took a 22 cloth, the cotton cleaner that you would run through it, and I put it in the end of my drill and slid it in here with mothers on it. And I really polished the inside of this chamber with it. And then I cleaned the whole barrel, cleaned it back out really good. And hopefully that'll allow the rounds to go in better and to extract better. Let's go over our upgrades real quick. Now we pulled the bolt out, we polished the bolt, we took the barrel off, we polished the chamber, we polished the feed ramp inside there, we cleaned inside the receiver really good, we changed out the tube, added a buttstock, and we've got a riser here on the back. We put a Riton scope on this, and it has 0 stop turrets on it. It has a parallax on the other side. I think this is a 4x25 with a 50 mil on the front. These Riton scopes are super nice. They've got great glass inside of them. And we added Bipod here on the front. And we also added on the front here a muzzle brake. We put our Holosun on a 45-degree mount on the side so that we could still use it on the rifle also. So we've got our upgrades done to the rifle, and we are now ready to head out to the range and test it and see how it runs for us. Hopefully our little gremlins that we've had inside the rifle that were creating little issues for us will be gone now. See you guys at the range.